My name's Rahman. I'm a digital marketing officer in the marketing team, which is part of the marketing recruitment and admissions division. I was born in the UK, grew up in Ealing, still there, still very much part of the local community, but grew up to South Asian immigrants, so most of my parents are from Pakistan. It was an interesting childhood, so we lived in one of the only areas of London, I think, that still remains predominantly white, which was rather unusual. So I kind of had this cultural dichotomy of white in school and very Pakistani outside, because we would spend a lot of our free time going to relatives' houses, meeting with other members of the community. I would be sent to mosque quite a lot as a kid, so it was almost like growing up in two different cultures that quite conflicted with each other, and I didn't always feel comfortable sharing that Pakistani side of me in those white spaces. I think that it took me a really long time to accept how both of them fit together. One of the biggest challenges for kind of accepting my Pakistani identity comes from the fact that I'm also gay. I haven't had acceptance from lots of family members, including my own parents. Luckily and fortunately for me, most of the people who are in my generation in my family have been completely accepting, which has been really good to have some allies in that respect. But unfortunately, it's still a very difficult community to gauge any kind of acceptance from. I love Pakistani food. It isn't an Eid without some fabulous biryani. In fact, I just had one on Monday. But my favourite Pakistani dish, which lots of people don't know about, is called nihari, and it's this massive beef shin stew that's thickened with bone marrow. Food's definitely the central thing in Pakistani culture that I would say keeps me connected. I've had the fortunate experiences of working in some progressive workplaces before Imperial, and I do count Imperial as a progressive workplace. I think that Imperial's doing some great things, specifically around the history dialogue. I think there could always be more that could be done, and something I'd like to see Imperial do more of is kind of take into account intersectional voices more. We live in a world where it's pretty clear that unless you see someone who looks like you or is like you in some way or another in spaces, you don't feel like you can access them. And I think this is an ongoing problem within society that we need to fix. And again, the only way to do this is by organisations or by individuals looking at themselves, and if they're looking at across a room, for example, at a board that's just full of straight white old men, why is this the case? What can we do differently to change that? Because you're never going to recruit the diverse talent until you actually start asking those difficult questions and taking actions based on the answers.